nice to meet you, Greyson.
Oh,
So,
thanks.
first, I want to thank you for accepting our interview.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here too.
Yeah. So, we are from tinnhac.com, which is a website focused on music and celebrity news.
Okay.
So, so honestly, I'm very excited to get a chance to talk to you
Oh,
today.
thanks.
First, we are glad to know that you are going to perform in Vietnam for MTV Connection 2019.
Yes.
So I've just seen on your Instagram and Facebook that you wrote that this is like your dream come true to come to Vietnam because that is like this is a part of the world that is so dear to you.
Yes.
So I want to ask that what is the reason that you write such endearing words?
Yeah. Well, Southeast Asia in general, to me, has always, just been, a part of the world that I've always been very connected to. Anytime I've come here, spent a lot of time when I was younger traveling to Malaysia and Indonesia and the Philippines and Thailand and Taiwan. And I would come to these parts or these cities in this part of the world and just be met by very energetic and compassionate fans. And so it's always been so special for me to come back. And the interesting thing is I remember we always talked about Vietnam when I was younger of we're gonna go at one point, we'll go at one point, we'll go at one point. And it never happened. And so now to come here with portraits and to have my first time here in Ho Chi Minh, it truly means the world, and I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear so.
Yeah.
So actually, you just arrived at the airport
Yes.
last night, right?
Yes.
So when you see that some fans are waiting for you, so
Yeah.
how do you feel about the fans or the Vietnamese people?
Yeah, it warmed my heart, truly, and anyone that I've met thus far has just been very kind and very sort of accepting and curious about my record and sort of my story, and that's been very cool to experience. And tomorrow, playing this show for MTV, it's going to be an acoustic stripped back set, and I'm just most excited to show the fans sort of how these songs came about from portraits and the way that they were written, meaning just me and piano, and I think it's going to be a great night.
Yeah. So because you've just been in Vietnam, I would like to ask that have you ever tried any Vietnamese dishes? Because you know that Vietnamese cuisine is very famous in the world. So
yeah. Actually, where I'm from in Oklahoma, we have an amazing Vietnamese neighborhood, and so I know like the basic things like pho and banh mi and this sort of thing. But last night at our first dinner, we had sea snails for the first time, and because we don't have that back in America, and it was really everyone was very scared of me trying them, sort of being like, oh my gosh, you might get sick. But I enjoyed it, and I'm excited. I'm here for a few more days, so I'm gonna try to get as much Vietnamese cuisine as possible.
Yes, and that is about food. So how about if you had chance, would you like to come back to our country not only for the music or concert, but for traveling?
Yeah, I want to come back and spend some time on the beach and drink beer and relax.
Yes, it would
But
be nice.
I can't do that this trip, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know that Vietnam has many beautiful beaches
Yeah,
that you can enjoy and relax.
absolutely.
Yes. So now we move on to some questions that is related to your latest album, Portraits. So first, I want to congrats on releasing your latest album in March, right?
Yes.
So it has been, I remember, like 8 years since the last time you released your album, right?
Yeah.
And I know that I've read some of your interview, and you say that you consider Portraits to be your debut album, right? So because is it like you were involved in many aspects while recording and composing? So I want to ask that did you have any difficulties because you had to do by yourself without the support from the company before?
No, I actually think not having sort of a large entity around it when we were making it sort of led to the result that we have now, and in that way too, Portraits is my most sort of creatively free work, and I describe it as my debut because when I look back at the early parts of my career, it's not that I feel a sense of embarrassment or shame or anything along those lines. It's just I do notice a separation between who I actually really was on the inside and sort of what was being promoted and what was being expressed out, and that's why this record is so special to me, because it's my first time to introduce myself to the world truly and honestly, to say this is actually who I am, this is what I wanted to say, and I did it. And that, regardless of how the record performed, just the fact that I finished it and that I made it was so special to me. And yeah, I was involved in not only making the music but also in the creative vision, and like I have the Photoshop file of the cover on my computer, and we worked on everything together. So I was blessed with a really awesome team for this record who really respected where I wanted to go, and I plan to do the same thing for the next album.
Yeah, so I guess that you put a lot of effort into this album.
Absolutely.
So that's why you keep saying that this is you consider this to be the first chapter of your music career, right?
Yeah.
So if you have 3 words to describe about your album portraits, which one would you choose?
I would say redemption, honesty. I think it's an honest record. And I would say heartbreak. It is a lot about a particular instance last year where I was very sad and a little down in the dumps after a breakup. So I wrote through a lot of that pain.
Yeah. So it's like it's a snapshot of your emotions, right? Yeah. So I want to ask that because you put a lot of effort into this album, that means that you want to convey some messages through this album to your fans. So what are some of those messages that you want to convey?
Yeah, if I'm being honest, the record, to me, when you listen to it, I think it's a really good view into my year last year. If you want to know what happened in 2018 to me, just put the record on and it's all there. I think the message that I was trying to convey is I was just trying to share these experiences that I was going through in the year. First off, going through a really bad breakup after being fully in love with someone, and truly for the first time. And then having them say, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore. That hurt. I wrote about it. I wrote about leaving college to pursue music again, and how there was an excitement around that, but also this like, oh my gosh, I hope that this works out, and I hope that it goes the way that I want it to. And then I wrote about my friends and being 21 in Oklahoma and drinking too much whiskey sometimes and having too much fun. And so it's all there. And as a songwriter, that's how I'm going to continue to make music, is to just live through life and write about it. And I hope that people will continue to listen.
So according to what you said, I think that I prefer Portraits to be the most personal album ever that you've seen released. So I want to ask that, that there are some artists, they do not want to share their some of their darkest side of their lives or some of their too personal story to the public. They tend to keep it for themselves.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? And have you ever thought that you want to remove some songs in the Portraits album because you think like, oh, this is too personal.
Yeah.
I want to keep it for myself, like that.
I'm 50-50 on that, because I think for me, writing music is truly the only way that I can continue on through life. It's the only way I know how to cope through pain and to kind of just keep going. In many ways, music never feels like a choice. It almost just feels like what I do. It's like I wake up in the morning and there's never a time where I'm not thinking about something music related. Or I'm hearing like melodies in my head and things, right? However, I put the personal side of my life into my music because I feel as if I am actually quite private in the other parts of my life, on social media and in the public eye. You won't really ever see me, touting around my partner or, sharing a lot online about this sort of thing. I like to keep privacy within my life, and I think we do a pretty good job of it. I can go to Oklahoma and no one knows where I'm at, and no one knows what I'm doing, and I'll always keep that in my career because it's important to me.
Yeah, I think you are such a brave person because you tend to express your true person, the true you to everyone. That you do not afraid about their reaction. Yeah. So now let's move on to. I want to talk a little bit about your personal life. So I know that you took a break for 8 years, right? And because you had to stay away from the stage, so you tend to live a normal life. just as a normal person. So some do you sometimes miss like a singing on the stage or miss your band, something like that?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't 8 years. It was technically I took 2 years off of music permanently. There was a point in my career after getting dropped by my first record label where there wasn't a lot going on. So I'm sure people might have supposed that I wasn't in music anymore, but I was still writing. No, when I was away from music that first year, I didn't miss anything about it.
Oh, really?
Not a single thing. I didn't miss my life as an artist because when I had reached that point of deciding I didn't want to do it anymore, my craft had been hijacked from me. I resented music in a way. I almost felt as if I couldn't sit down at a piano and write anymore without thinking about the people who had sort of betrayed me or left me or the bad things that had happened. It wasn't until my second year of college that I was able to sort of refine my purpose and refine my path. And then I missed it all extremely. I missed playing on stage. I missed writing music every day. I missed talking to my fans and doing all these things. But I just needed time away from it to really just refine my purpose. And you know, there was such a long period of time where I never thought I was going to return back. And to even be sitting here in Ho Chi Minh talking to you about a record, it feels very, very surreal. But I'm glad I'm here now.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you come back because we know that all the fans, they miss you and they miss your songs.
Yeah.
So if you can use 3 words to describe something about yourself and your characteristics, so what are the words that you would like?
Yeah, well, it's officially Leo season, so I'm a Leo, and that packs a lot of punch because I exude all the personality traits. I would say I'm actually more introverted than people think, and I would say I'm quite stubborn. If I believe something, I believe it really hard.
Yeah. So now I want to ask something about your future plans. So aside from MTV Connection 2019, I've heard that you have already planned to come back to Vietnam in 2020, right, for a live concert. So I want to maybe know the reason why that you choose our country to be a part of your future.
Well, I think I'm wanting to come back to Vietnam truly just because of the support here from the fans. You know, and as I mentioned, I'm very excited for tomorrow to, you know, show the fans sort of these songs stripped back and show them portraits in a way that it was written. But at the same time, I wanted to bring the fully produced show here and to bring the Portraits World Tour here as well. So I'm so greatly looking forward to February to say hello to some new friends again.
I believe that all Vietnamese fans are really looking forward to your
I'm excited.
concert. Yes, I'm so excited. I want to buy tickets and go to your concert. So lastly, would you have any words for your Vietnamese fans before tomorrow night?
Yeah, first off, you know, thank you so much for the hospitality and the graciousness of welcoming me into Ho Chi Minh, into Vietnam. And I would also say too, I'm not going anywhere. I'll keep on seeing you guys and keep on coming back.